This is Minecraft, the most demanding game in the world. It can consume any amount of your computer's resources. And this is a $15,000 computer that I'm gonna crash today using various Minecraft experiments. This PC has 2 terabytes of DDR5 RAM in octa-channel mode, 2 gigantic processors with a total of 128 threads, and an RTX 4090 GPU, which I successfully adapted to this computer using a fire hose. The specs are absolutely insane for a regular PC, because this isn't a PC, but a modern Dell server on LGA 4677 sockets released in 2023. In the vanilla version of Minecraft, the system's performance isn't much different from a regular high-end PC. Even if I delete everything from the map, the FPS doesn't break any records. I've seen much higher numbers in this game. I installed a few mods for Minecraft, and neither the Bedrock nor the Java version of Minecraft can utilize 2 processors simultaneously. Let's see how many blocks in this game I can replace with TNT. For this, I'll use a special command to get an axe, which I can now use to select the start and end points of the block area. Now I type -- set TNT, and just like that, the blocks have drastically changed their religious beliefs. With this command, I teleport to the edge of the map to select the last corner block, move a bit away, and replace all the grass blocks with TNT. 37,000 blocks appeared instantly. Let's go further. 1,225,000 blocks took significantly longer for the game to generate, but we'll go much, much further. 22,200,000 blocks took about 7 minutes to generate, which is quite a lot. Even the RAM usage increased to 100 gigabytes, but we'll push this as far as it can go. So I teleported to the edge of the map again, selected a block there, then teleported to the opposite edge of the map and selected the final block. Now, let's replace everything with TNT. At first glance, nothing changed, but the command started executing, which means our magical axe isn't working right now. To give you some perspective, I'm currently trying to replace the entire Minecraft map, 60 by 60 million blocks. That's 3.6 quadrillion blocks. Each block is 1 square meter, meaning we're talking about 3.6 billion square kilometers, which is 7 times the surface area of our planet. After about 7 minutes, I noticed something strange. RAM usage started increasing, and quite rapidly, I must say. Almost 200 gigabytes of RAM is already occupied, which means the game is actually trying to execute this insane task. I also noticed that Minecraft, which normally uses just a single CPU thread, was now happily maxing out all 64 threads at full power. After about an hour, the RAM started filling up very aggressively, reaching almost 800 gigabytes used. The highest I saw was 900 gigabytes. Then RAM started clearing itself, only to fill up again. I did some calculations and figured out that executing this script would take me 11 years. So, theoretically, it's possible, but I don't have that much time. Let's see how many TNT blocks we can detonate with this much RAM. I entered a command that generates TNT pyramids of different sizes. The 1,500 block and 170,000 block pyramids appeared almost instantly. Look at the huge difference between them. And on the right, a pyramid with 1,350,000 blocks. Looks impressive, doesn't it? But what if we create a 10 million block pyramid? This one took quite a long time to generate. Here's what a pyramid that's nearly 10 times bigger looks like. Even Mr. Beast's pyramids aren't as massive as this one. But that's still not enough for me, so I made a pyramid with 85 million blocks. It took about 40 minutes to generate, but just look at the results! This pyramid is so gigantic that I think I've reached the limit of pyramid generation in this game. Here's a comparison of all the pyramids by their TNT equivalent in real life. The final pyramid is as powerful as 7 of the most powerful nuclear bombs, each 50 megatons in size. Now, let's set them on fire and see how many pyramids can explode before the game crashes. Boom! The first 1,500 block pyramid exploded instantly. The 170,000 block pyramid took much longer. By the way, I've cut out all the freezes because this one took about half an hour to explode, and you're watching it in a fast-forwarded version. Oh, looks like the apocalypse is over. Oh no, poor donkey! I can't let him suffer! Better put him out of his misery while he's still alive. Strangely, he's not falling down. Is this some kind of anomaly? Wait a minute, the sparks are still flying. Looks like the fireworks aren't over yet. Oh God, there are more and more sparks. Oh no! It seems the explosion has triggered the 1.35 million block pyramid. I think we should wish our PC good luck because this explosion is absolutely massive! The game slowed down so much that progress started taking literal hours. Sometimes it froze for half an hour, but it never crashed, thanks to our huge RAM capacity. The sparks are still flying on the left. They'll probably keep flying for the next 30 years. Watching this in fast forward is actually fascinating. By the 7th hour of the experiment, I was more and more convinced that our server would survive this pyramid. By now, most of it had exploded, and I estimate we've detonated around 1 million blocks, considering the pyramid originally had 1.35 million. This took up 165 gigabytes of RAM. I won't continue any further because it's 2 a.m. and I need to sleep. And I definitely can't sleep with this vacuum cleaner running. For the next experiment, we'll need a command block. Here are the settings and the command. A lot of command blocks and commands to spawn a massive number of creepers. I want to see how many creepers we can spawn in one place and what the FPS will be. The lowest I saw was 3 frames per second. Also, creepers started disappearing, meaning the game has some built-in limits, but I think there were over 10,000 of them at one point. But what if we detonate them all at once? Using a command like this. Boom! They almost reached me. The game didn't crash, and immediately after the explosion, FPS increased significantly. If you keep blowing up creepers, they can actually dig a huge hole beneath them and then automatically die from falling. I have another idea. What if I spawn 100 command blocks in one place and have them infinitely spawn creepers at the same time? Oh, this was not easy. Every 20 seconds, I had to blow them up just to slightly improve FPS. But after 10 minutes, I activated all the blocks and got negative FPS growth, 1 frame per second. But that's too high. I need more! So I started digging a hole using creeper propulsion. Turns out that when they die, FPS is higher than when they're alive. But this still wasn't enough to crash the game. So now I'll install a ton of graphic mods. After all, if you need it, pause the video and check out their names. We have an RTX 4090 and it deserves a proper challenge. With shaders and enhanced textures, Minecraft looks completely unrecognizable. Just look at these textures and the plants and how the animals look now. The underground! Absolutely breathtaking. It's like some next-gen graphical remaster. And this is even without RTX technology, just shaders. But the FPS hit is insane, from 300 FPS down to 9. Honestly, not worth it. But I'm not here for graphics. I'm here for explosions! And this time, not TNT, although it looks fantastic, but creepers. Let's start with a massive creeper farm. The game was running until it wasn't. At some point, it just crashed. All right, let's scale it down a bit and blow up a smaller group. Nope, the game still crashed. All right, before the final test, let's see how many people on Steam have a PC like mine. We have 2 terabytes of RAM. The most common PC configuration among Steam users is 16 gigabytes or 32 gigabytes, but only 0.42% of people have more than 64 gigabytes, and it's highly unlikely that anyone has 2 terabytes. The most popular CPU configuration is 6 cores, but we have 64 cores. Exactly 0% of Steam users have this much power. I removed all the mods, leaving only those that allow infinite render distance. Then I started rendering chunks with an inhuman desire to fill up 2 terabytes of RAM. After an hour of my fun travels, RAM usage exceeded 60 gigabytes and the GPU gave up almost immediately, as you can see. 100 gigabytes of memory was occupied and the game was already lagging like crazy. But I won't stop. I want to see the limits of this system. Hours passed. Chunks kept loading in and RAM usage slowly increased. After about 2 hours, I passed the 200 gigabytes mark. FPS dropped to 1 frame per minute, but I didn't give up and kept going even though my head started buzzing from the noise. 300 gigabytes. Every time I turn towards the chunks, a deep sense of unease washes over me. 400 gigabytes. That unease has turned into anger as my FPS has dropped into the negatives, now taking 3 minutes per frame. 500 gigabytes. 1 frame takes so long that I forgot which direction I was even turning the camera. 600 gigabytes. I'm starving and exhausted, but I keep pushing forward as if the fate of humanity depends on it. 700 gigabytes. I've accepted the fact that this game will never crash as long as there's RAM left to fill. It doesn't care about any other PC specs. Even the GPU is using less memory now. 800 gigabytes! Filling up this much RAM took me about 11 to 12 hours. Calling it painful to look into the distance would be an understatement. One frame every 5 to 7 minutes. But the game did not crash. In that time, I had rendered nearly 20 million chunks. Only 2 million of them were actually visible on screen. I successfully filled over 1 terabyte of RAM in Minecraft, and the game was still running. There were 22 million chunks. But that recording was on my camera, and I forgot about it. I deleted it. So, let me know in the comments. Am I talking nonsense or not? Thanks for watching. See you next time.